The bill that got passed yesterday, the Lok Sabha, on Wednesday passed the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Bill 2025, aimed at banning online games played with real money. The legislation, headed by Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, comes amid rising concerns over addiction, financial fraud and money laundering linked to real money gaming. Under the new law, facilitating or even advertising online money games will attract imprisonment of up to 3 years and fines up to 1 crore rupees. Repeat offences could lead to 3 to 5 years in jail and fines up to 2 crore rupees. Advertisements for such games will also be prohibited, with violators facing imprisonment of up to 2 years or fines of up to 50 lakh rupees. Now, the bill covers a wide range of activities from fantasy sports, online poker, rummy and other card games to online lotteries, effectively banning all online gambling. It also bars banks and financial institutions from facilitating transactions related to such real money games. Now, key sections of the bill are cognizable and non-bailable, underlining the government's intent to tackle the issue seriously. Vaishnaw also emphasized that the move is not against digital gaming itself. The bill recognizes e-sports as a legitimate sport and supports online social and educational games that foster skill development, cultural engagement, as well as social interaction. A regulatory authority will be set up to promote these positive segments of online gaming. Now, industry bodies representing real money gaming raised concerns over potential revenue loss, pointing out that the sector is valued at over 2 lakh crore rupees. Others welcome the bill. Experts say it draws a clear line between skill-based competitive gaming and betting. Listen in to what the Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw had to say.
इस बिल में दो भाग है, 3 सेगमेंट में से 2 सेगमेंट को सरकार प्रमोट करना चाहती है, ई स्पोर्ट्स को, ऑनलाइन सोशल गेमिंग को। उसके लिए अथॉरिटी बनाएंगे, गेम मेकर्स को सहायता देंगे, स्कीम करेंगे। लेकिन माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, जब समाज के बारे में, मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों के बारे में और इंडस्ट्री के एक सेगमेंट के बारे में, जब समाज के बारे में और सरकार के रेवेन्यू के बारे में चिंता करनी होती है, इन दोनों के बीच में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमेशा मध्यम वर्ग के परिवार को ही चुना है, हमेशा समाज के बेनिफिट को ही चुना है, कभी इस पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं किया है। और इस बिल में भी प्राथमिकता दी गई है समाज के कल्याण को, और समाज में जो बहुत एक बड़ी बुराई आ रही है उससे बचने के लिए ये बिल लाया गया।
Kanishk Gaur, the CEO of India Future Foundation, joins me this morning. Kanishk, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Newsline. Now, while the bill has been passed, the industry seems to still be up in arms, saying that this is going to be a major blow to not just the industry, but also India's economy. They're saying that the industry is valued at 2 lakh crore rupees. That seems a bit of a stretch because not too many of these firms are listed, but they're saying as many as 400 companies are into online real money gaming, and that's going to lead to unemployment, that's going to lead to flow of FDI outside India, and potentially gamers looking at offshore activities for real money gaming. How valid do you think are the industry's concerns, and is there a way out for the Indian industry now that the bill has been passed?
See, the issue is a major concern today because the online skill-based gaming companies today generate revenue up to 31,000 crore every year, and they pay taxes up to 40%. And they follow the norms which the government had gotten earlier. They take care of the eKYC. Mixing them with offshore betting and gambling platforms which don't follow any norms, don't have entity in India, don't pay GST is not right. What we need to understand is that India today faces extremely tough time because of the 50% Trump tariffs. And if we start killing our own sectors where there is so much of potential by mixing them with other offshore betting gambling, it's only going to harm our economic interest. The online gaming sector is poised to grow. That's why we had got so much of investments from international investors. All the gaming companies today, if you look at, we have 3 unicorns. They might not be listed, but there are 3 unicorns which have been coming from India, and they have raised quite amount of money from outside India right now. So
that's right.
going after them or killing the entire sector in the name of saying that it is causing hallucination, it is causing addiction, I don't think so is the right way to look at it.
But Kanishk, while I hear you and I appreciate your perspective, I also want to try and make this demarcation that the government has said that esports, skill-based games are fine. Real money is the problem because that is where people are getting duped, people are losing money, and perhaps even cases of suicide have been reported. So the point really is that, is this really going to be a death knell for the gaming industry, or can the gaming industry pivot to an advertising-based model?
See, just pivoting to advertising-based model can't be the solution to it. If you look at a lot of sports which are played in India, we have seen cricket, we have seen kabaddi, we have seen football. With them, we have seen fantasy sports getting associated, and a lot of fantasy sports sponsoring some of these competitions as well, right? So just saying that through advertising, the companies will be able to survive and generate that kind of revenue and pay up to 40% of taxes, I don't think so that is the solution right now. What
But
we
then
need to
again,
say is
Kanish,
that everything
I'm
which
sorry to cut
involves
you.
real
I'm
money
sorry to
can't
cut
be
you in,
said that.
Kanish.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you in, but I'm saying, this 40% is also at the moment an assumption, because so far there's a 28% GST which has been slapped on online gaming. And on the face value, if you remember, that debate was hot about a year and a half, 2 years ago. But the point being that we don't know, with the real money equation now completely gone, perhaps the tax may not be on face value, perhaps the tax could be on premium, and perhaps there would be just a regular advertising-based tax of maybe 18% and not 28%, which could eventually become 40%. So I'm saying this 40% also at the moment is an assumption because it is seen as a sin under the ambit of gambling. If that sector or that segment of gaming has been banned, we don't know whether the tax will go up from 28% to 40%. If anything, it could come lower to 18%, and that could be a win-win for the industry.
See, we haven't seen that the tax has been lowered. We have discussed this in the past. There's already a case in the Delhi High Court about it. We have seen 28% specifically is also extremely high. Given the massive growth of the sector, this sector is still emerging. So
But Kanish, that
28% is what they are
28%
already
was
paying. But if you
28%
look
was
at some of the
slapped.
offshore betting companies, if you please, if you allow me, if you look at the offshore and betting and gambling companies, they don't pay any KYC checks. They don't allow 28% tax to be set up, and they are operating out of the country. So already it's the Indian online gaming space is already facing massive issues because of the lack of regulation. But if we start putting them in the same pocket at offshore and betting, I don't think so that's the right way to look at it.
Okay, sure. But again, we will have to wait and see because, the 28% tax was slapped at a time when real money was getting deposited into the accounts, and that is what the government wanted to tax. Again, the signal was pretty clear that the government did not want to encourage online betting, online gambling, and games of chance. So that message and that consistency has been there for the government. I want to just pivot for a minute to the other concern from the industry, and that is in the context of money flowing out of India. Now, the point is, with the government now banning financial institutions from transferring money or permitting money to be transferred into such applications, is there a real case of gamers, real serious gamers who are potentially addicted to or want to still try and bet on making money, switching on to cryptocurrencies and using crypto as a way to play games online on platforms which are not domestically based but based offshore? And hence the secondary question, is it time for India to also now finally put the cryptocurrency bill in parliament and try and enforce that also?
100%, because we have seen crypto and non-fungible tokens being used as a mechanism for transferring money. The offshore betting and gambling companies could still continue to work in India. A lot of times the apps which have been banned continue to operate in India through means of VPN. And we have seen that a lot of these companies throw massive advertisements despite of not having any entity in India. So until and unless that government doesn't bring out a bill to regulate cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens, it is a huge risk to India that these offshore betting and gambling platforms continue to operate and continue to advertise as well. We have seen massive Bollywood celebrities, Tollywood celebrities also involved in advertising a lot of these offshore betting and gambling platforms. So that is also another key area which needs to be controlled. That's one of the aspects where more work needs to happen.